Hello everyone, welcome to the video. I hope you all had a great Christmas, or if you don't celebrate that, at least I hope you had great holidays. I hope everything's going well going into the new year for everyone. Today, what I want to do real quick is showcase my Clan Boss team, which is going to be a version of the Myth Air comp that became very popular after Demytha came out. So this is going to be an unkillable team, and what makes this particular team and this particular speed tune very effective is that it is it's good to go for the top 3 highest difficulties of Clan Boss. So this one team is going to allow you to take down Brutal, Nightmare, and Ultra Nightmare all on the exact same speed tune, the exact same build for all the champions, all that good stuff. So you don't need to switch any sort of gear. The setup is always going to be the same. It's pretty auto-friendly. You just have to play through the first like 3 turns, and then it's completely auto from there. So it's very simple to set up. Like I say, it is completely unkillable. It does 1 key on Nightmare. It is very close to a 1 key on Ultra Nightmare. That's strictly just on my gear. It's not necessarily on the team itself. You can do a lot better. All these champions are going to be mandatory except for Fane. Fane can be switched out with any damage dealer that you would like, and it doesn't really matter if they have a chance of getting extra turns or not. Just since this is a block damage comp, you don't really need to worry about them losing the unkillable or anything like that, so Relentless Gear would work perfectly fine as well. So let's go through the team. Don't mind the blessings that I have on these champions. I am just messing around, testing a few things out. So Fane here, of course, she attacks one enemy 2 times, she attacks an enemy 2 poisons and a decreased attack, and then she attacks 3 times with a decreased defense and a weaken, plus she heals them for every debuff on the target. So a very decent champion overall. The speed tune for her is going to be at 157, which obviously no need to say it. That is an incredibly slow champion, so you should be able to build her out with some good stats. Of course, as you get the blessing tier up here a little bit too, she's going to be doing a lot more damage. Next champion is Seeker. Seeker's mainly just coming in here for his A2, which is filling the turn meter of all allies by 30%, placing an increased attack on them for 2 turns, and grants an extra turn, in which case he comes in here to his A1, which is fairly hard hitting as well. I don't really have this guy optimized for damage though by any means, so that is still a bit of a work in progress. His speed has to be at 169, so still a very slow champion, and this speed should be very easily attainable for anyone in the game, I would say. Very, very good champion. Again, his blessing, Phantom Touch, don't mind that too much. Deacon Armstrong is actually running in a toxic set to help put out a few extra poisons, just since Fane can't really fill that poison debuff bar on her own in my experience. He's coming in here in Cruelty, so he's decreasing their defense. What I am going to be doing though is switching out Cruelty so it's on Demytha instead, so that Deacon can be built with more attack and get a better blessing for that. His speed is at 185, which is very strict once again. So again, this is a very attainable speed for almost anyone in the game. 185 is very slow. These next 2 champions are kind of our speed demon champions, which make this whole comp possible. So first up is going to be Eris. Eris is of course built out at 245 speed, so we are going up a little bit on the requirement there. She has a lot of attack, crit rate, and crit damage. She is counter-attacking every time somebody is hit. She is placing a increased speed on everybody for 2 turns, as well as removing a random debuff from all allies on a 3-turn cooldown. So she is going to be cleansing the stuns, as well as placing the increased speed at the start of every single turn. And again, her speed is 245, very strict on that one. The last champion is Demytha. Demytha is coming in here, she's placing a shield, she's extending debuffs, buffs, and then she's placing a block damage and a heal, of course. So most people know about Demytha by now. Her speed is very strict once again at 275. However, this comp, having all champions below 300 speed, makes it very attainable for anyone in the game, I would say. A lot of these unkillable comps, especially for Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare, that sort of thing, they do start to get around the 300 speed or up. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to run into Clan Boss, we're going to run into Ultra Nightmare. I'm going to show you the setup for this, and then I'll hop back after it's done. So the setup is very simple. You come in here, first of all, you start off with Demytha A1. You're going to do Eris A2. You're going to do Deacon A2. Seeker A1. Fane can do whatever you'd like, pretty much. I like to start with the A2. Clan Boss takes his turn. This setup is going to be the exact same no matter what difficulty you're running this team on, by the way. It just takes a little bit longer to get in sync on some of the lower difficulties. So, A2 on Demytha here, A1, And then the last thing is a 1 on Deacon, and you're completely 100% auto from here, like I said, no matter what the difficulty. This team, of course, is going to be not 100% affinity friendly. It is going to struggle against Spirit affinity, because more often than not, Eris is actually becoming the stun target on Spirit affinity from my experience. I have tried a little bit here to see if I could bring in another force damage dealer or something like that to get them to be the stun target instead. However, that decreased speed debuff still seems to mess us up a little bit, so it's very hit or miss. If somebody can figure out how to make this Spirit affinity friendly down in the comment section below, feel free to let me know. I'd love to know that. It would help me out a lot too, because I'd love to be able to run this team against a Spirit affinity. So you can see here our first stun comes in. Eris is going to go ahead and clean that off. Seeker gets his turn as normal. And like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and let this run through. Once this finishes up, I'll be right back with you. So I have returned. As you can see, we are actually incredibly close to the 1 key here on Ultra Nightmare with this team. Something to keep in mind as well is I don't actually have Seeker, Demitha, or Deacon optimized for damage. So if I put Deacon with a lot more attack, more crit rate, same with Seeker and Demitha, we would have easily gotten the 1 key here on Ultra Nightmare, which is awesome. This is also, of course, Force Affinity, so Feign is strong affinity against it, as well as Deacon. So the results will vary a little bit, of course, on Magic and Void, but it is going to be a very similar result overall. You can see the damages here. So Deacon had 12 million. Eris is actually all the way over at 16 million for a rare, which is pretty awesome. Feign is coming in with 28, 8.5 for Seeker, and 4.6 for Demitha. So overall, this is a great team composition if you're just looking for something to get through Clan Boss. I hope this helps some of you guys out, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.